Welcome to another day traveling around China in 88 days. Today we are in the northernmost city in all of China, at a temperature of minus 26 degrees, but the good thing is that it's the perfect temperature for Santa Claus's reindeer. Join us to discover the beautiful city of Mohe.
Right now, we are just 20 minutes away from our last city called Mohe, one of the few places in the world where you can see the phenomenon of the northern lights and the city where the lowest temperature of 2024 was recorded. Throughout this journey we've made to the northernmost part of China, we've shown you multiple times the temperatures we've reached in different cities as we go further north, and also how the train freezes on the inside during each trip, and this is already another level. Just look at the layer of ice right here. It's covered by snow and ice. It's much thicker than on the rest of the trips. Imagine how cold it must be outside for the door to look like this. But anyway, we'll see that once we get off the train, so let's see how it is. Well, welcome to the city of Mohe.
No, welcome to the Himalayas. Welcome to... It feels like you're arriving at the North Pole. It's super dry. You breathe in and it makes you cough.
The sight of people passing by is incredible. You can see the steam or smoke rising. I don't know what to call it.
No way, it's even more touristy. And that's supposed to be the most remote place in China? I thought it was going to be an abandoned town, a really empty place, but it seems like that's exactly what makes so many people come to check it out. Look, the station is nice.
Just look at what they have at the station exit, a snow slide. When you see our drone shots, just know that we're taking them out here at minus 21 degrees.
Just know that my hands are almost numb.
Max has to operate it without gloves because you just can't do it with gloves on. The truth is, we didn't really look into how we were going to get around from the station to the rest of the tourist spots. What you can do is go out and take a bus that's on the left side as you leave the station. There's the station and here are the buses. We're inside the bus now. Just look at what the stairs are like. Well, our bus is packed.
But saying it's packed is an understatement.
We're heading now to the Arctic Village, I think it's called. It's like the main tourist attraction or the #1 place where everyone stays. We don't know where else to go. You can also see the northern lights there, I think.
Right? We've already stopped in several cities to see how people live. Now we're going to see what brings so many people here.
We just arrived at the Arctic Village. This right here is the tourist center, and from here I can see that it's a 5A rated tourist attraction. So I'm sure this must be really spectacular. Over there is the entrance to the Arctic Village, and what we're trying to figure out now is whether the hotels are inside or outside, because the first thing we want to do is go to the hotel, I suppose.
Is this hotel far from there?
Well, the gentleman says that we're only 200 meters away from the hotel where we booked our room. As a fun fact, we chose this hotel because it had international in its name. And actually, the first comment we found was from some foreigners who arrived and said, there's nothing international about this place because they didn't even know how to check us in and took us to the police station.
Here are the tickets. They cost us 136 plus the hotel, which was 120 yuan, and the buses, which were 20 per person. So add it up and you'll have the total of what it costs for a day here in the Chinese North Pole.
Well, for some reason, they dropped us off at this point here.
Nobody got off here.
Why are we the only idiots who got off here? Which one is our hotel?
He said it's right across the street. Is this the hotel? Huh? The car told me it was here.
It looks like this is where our hotel is.
Yeah, it does look like a polar village, Velarto. The air is so dry that I feel like coughing every time I inhale.
Just imagine, right now there's no wind or anything. My hands feel like they're going to fall off from the cold.
Look at the door, it freezes over.
What you see here is ice. Just like that, it freezes, and every time they slam the door, it falls off, it breaks into pieces, and it piles up there. And there's ice inside here too. Just look at the door. It's incredible. Look at the huge chunks of ice that formed here at the entrance. Right as you come in, we have some books here, a guitar, and here is the lobby or the living room. This is an area where you can sit and chat with the king, the one for the travelers who stay around here. Over there is the front desk. Right behind it, we have a little map that we're going to use for today's tour. Here we have some beers, a bit of soup, and it's cool because they offer you hot coffee every day. Plus, the cup is super Christmassy. Here is the hallway that leads us to the rooms. And in this part of China, you'll find this type of pattern a lot because it's typical of the Dongding region, which is where we are now. Woohoo! Now that we finally managed to leave our suitcases at the hotel, it's time to go out and explore this beautiful village, which is bigger than we thought. Now I'm going to tell you a little more about the city of Mohe and the villages that surround it, like the one we're in now. But in the meantime, Max has already gone ahead of us, and here he is trying to make a snowman.
It's impossible.
There's so little humidity in the air that the snow is kind of like salt or sawdust. It just doesn't stick together. I think you're just turning it into a pile.
Rome wasn't built in a day, Fur. It wasn't easy, but just look at this handsome guy.
Time to continue on our way. We won't keep you any longer with the snowman. Those are activities you can do in other places where the weather is also cold, but this town is very, very special. Mohe is a city in Heilongjiang province and is famous for being the northernmost city in China. That means it is the one located furthest north in the country. It has one of the lowest populations in the entire territory, with about 54,000 inhabitants. That doesn't surprise me because the climate is extremely inhospitable.
Most of the people in this place belong to the Han ethnic group, but there are also ethnic minorities such as Manchus, Mongols, Koreans, Sibe, Oroken, Evenki, and even Russians. Now, the climate in Mohe is subarctic, with long and harsh winters and short warm summers. In fact, yesterday we were walking around there at 2 in the afternoon. We went into a restaurant to eat, and the next thing we knew, it was already night and our day was over. And the same thing happened to us today. We went out for breakfast. We got a little dazed for a while, and now the sun is already setting. Right now, at this very moment, we are in the village of Beijitsun, which is like a part of Mohe. Beijitsun translates as the Arctic village, and in recent years it has received a lot of government support to develop as a tourist spot, since it is considered the northernmost village in the country. This is one of the most important tourist attractions because it is the northernmost post office in all of China. And throughout this village, you'll find a lot of signs that say the northernmost school in the country, the northernmost post office in the country.
The northernmost noodle shop in the country?
But we found out last night that actually this village is not the northernmost village in the country, but rather the northernmost developed village in the country, where they have tourist infrastructure, hotels, and so on. But tomorrow we're going to what really is the northernmost village in the whole country. Most of the businesses here are hotels and restaurants, and they make a killing in December. And why the hell would so many people come here, you might ask? Well, let Noelia tell you.
The two most interesting weather phenomena in this area of China are first, the northern lights, and second, the midnight sun. The northern lights are lights that appear in the sky, which are a mix of the reflection of sunlight and atmospheric gases. It depends a lot on the altitude, the color you see, and everything, but it's a very unpredictable phenomenon, so you have to pay close attention to the recommendations from the locals in order to witness it. And it's one of the things we want to see here. The other very interesting weather phenomenon here is something called the midnight sun, which happens in the summer. Because of this place's geographic location, the days are extremely long, lasting up to 18 hours of sunlight. Just imagine that. And that's with temperatures only reaching up to 25 degrees Celsius. It's definitely a very interesting place.
Yesterday we were walking around the town and they were just starting to make these snow sculptures. I'm amazed at how quickly they finished them, and it's a shame we didn't record it earlier because it didn't even have a head. Just imagine all the work it must take. When it melts, I don't know what they do with the water. It must flood the whole town given how much snow there is.
Walking around here is like walking on an ice rink that hasn't been polished. Just look at my foot.
But he doesn't have any problem.
No, it's incredible how dogs are adapted to this climate.
But enough talking. Let's go explore the beautiful town of Mojo because we were promised reindeer, Santa Claus gifts, and more. The only way to get around in this town is by taxi. It's pretty funny because they have the taxis organized like tourist buses, so they fill them up with lots of tourists and go around to visit the sites. Oh my hands! In our case, we're going to pay 100 yuan because we didn't want to bother other people with our recordings, and also when you come with more people, they rush you. But I do recommend that you take it if you're coming alone because walking would be tough and there are no electric motorcycles here, no public transportation, and this is the only way to get around unless you want to walk in minus 26 degrees. That's the Heilongjiang, which is the river that divides the border between China and Russia, and it's amazing to see it frozen.
This little house is the village of...
Is this really Russia? Yes. It's Russia, because yesterday I flew the plane to that side. That doesn't work. I didn't realize there was a plane. He's saying I made a mistake and could get in trouble if caught, since my drone crossed into international territory. On this side, the river is known as Heilongjiang, while in Russia it's known as the Amur River. This river is 4,200 kilometers long and acts as a natural barrier along a significant section of the border, like here in Beijing. And it's incredible because anyone could walk across now that the river is frozen, but on the other side there's still a small mountain range with a pretty inhospitable climate that would make it very difficult for anyone to cross. In fact, the area on the other side of the river in Russia is known as the Far East because of how remote it is. And if we were to cross the river directly, we wouldn't reach any city because the closest settlement would be the Jewish Autonomous Oblast and the Amur region. But they're very far away, so we'd probably die before getting there, especially with this weather. The next stop is the Reindeer Reserve. How exciting! I've never seen a reindeer in my life. Here are our tickets to see the reindeer. They cost us 30 yuan per person, and for an extra 15 yuan they gave us food for the reindeer. But it's actually moss, isn't it?
And it's like a kind of plant that must grow around here. For me, it's worth it because at least it's food they can actually eat. We're not giving them anything bad. Meezy. Look, you saw them already. I can't believe I'm seeing a reindeer. For me, these creatures were like mystical animals that lived in Christmas stories, and now I have them right in front of me. It even makes me emotional. I mean, it really does feel like a dream come true.
Oh my god, look at that. Wow, how wonderful. Beautiful. Do you think they might attack? I hope not. Feed them. Wow, it's beautiful, beautiful. Just look at that.
Wait, I'm coming. Max, help. Oh, Max.
No, Noelia, don't worry. They won't hurt you.
Max, help. The reindeer are chasing me. He has it. There they go.
I had prepared some fun facts about reindeer for you, but I can't take out my phone because all the reindeer have swarmed me. What I remember is that these reindeer are probably female because the males lose their antlers during the winter and the females lose them in the spring, which means that Santa Claus's reindeer are probably females with male names. Another thing is that these beautiful animals have very dense fur that helps them withstand freezing temperatures, and also the consistency of their hooves changes with the weather to adapt to the snow. When it's warm, they are soft, and when it's cold, they harden so they can walk without any problem, and just look at how gentle these animals are. But I can see how they could accidentally poke your eye out, especially that other friend who was really excited about the food. Whoa, 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 whoa. Easy, easy, buddy. They don't like to be touched. Look. Wow, whoa,
They have teeth.
Well, what did you think?
Oh, I'm coming.
How does he tap you and ask for food with his paw?
Little friend, I'm sorry. I just don't want him to hit me with a horn.
These animals can run up to 80 kilometers per hour, Noelia, and they can travel more than 5,000 kilometers, which is more than any other land mammal. I'm seeing here that the average size of the male's horns can be between 80 and 100 centimeters, but in the case of the females, it's between 20 and 50 centimeters. How big would you estimate this guy's horns are, Ned? It should be female since males have already lost their horns. Ha ha ha! What they don't tell you is that it can turn into a scary adventure. Oh, my leg. Wow. Evidence? Clearly this one is male and that one is female and one was already mounting the other. How do they scratch you with their little paw? Hold on. A mess started. They're fighting. Here's the importance of the horns. They lowered their horns and started butting heads, and the little one ended up giving up. There, that's it. Alright. That's it, behave yourselves. Whoa, dude! Bruto, no! Actually, reindeer are very gentle. They're very passive, except when the scuffle starts like, move, that's my food.
I'm sorry. Wait, oh my friend, wait. Wait, don't look at me like that. Help! They're chasing me. Have you ever been chased by a reindeer? I guess not, but this is really weird.
Here we are witnessing a little conflict between two brothers. Supposedly this is how the males fight, and they don't fight to kill each other, but to show dominance over the other. These two are already getting heated. Okay, that's enough, that's enough. Stop fighting. Leave him alone, poor thing, he's smaller. And just as you see them, reindeer are very important animals for the local people because they have not only been a means of transportation and a way to carry loads, but they also ate reindeer meat and used their skins as clothing. But today, they are also a very important source of income because they attract many tourists who want to come and interact with them. And actually, it doesn't represent any problem because reindeer are very social animals and enjoy interaction according to what I found on the internet. If you notice, it's the reindeer who approach people and not the other way around because they want to eat moss, which is their favorite food, and interestingly, they can see it as if it were ultraviolet rays. Let's say that moss, above everything else in this white paradise, stands out to them and they immediately detect it. In fact, we had just entered when we already had 5 reindeer around us and we had to buy 2 bags because Noelia dropped them. She got scared when the reindeer surrounded her, and the antlers are actually a bit intimidating.
Work piled up for her, so literally they surrounded me and I said, how do I get them off me? It's funny because I was just telling them that these beautiful animals are like a dream come true for me, but honestly the antlers really are intimidating. Very well.
Look, Noelia is suffering. What's wrong, Nikki?
Look at the hands here.
We could really make one of those reality versus expectation reels in these kinds of cases. There's no food, man, there's no food.
One of the things that made me really curious about this area of China and about reindeer is that it's known there's a tribe that has traditionally dedicated itself to preserving and raising this species. They're called the Yuwenki, and you can find them in different villages in this area of China. Honestly, when I read about these people, I thought it was really beautiful. I mean, obviously they also raise them for food and for their hides, right? But at the end of the day, this ethnic minority has traditionally aimed to preserve the species and look after the animals' well-being.
What used to be a whole park full of reindeer is now completely empty. The moss runs out and the reindeer disappear. And don't think they only have this space. It's a huge area. They have plenty of room to run and run. They only come because they know tourists are here with moss.
Yes, like Max says, it's a reserve, it's their natural habitat. It's like they just set boundaries to have control over them and protect the species. By the way, our driver abandoned us in this place. She left. She was supposed to take us to one more place today. She told us, no, I don't have time. I have to go somewhere. Who knows where? I don't know. Then she left us with another very kind lady who was supposedly going to take us back to our hotel. And in the end, she didn't take us either. So this lady here also says she's going to take us back.
Here you can really tell it's a border. There are barbed wires all along the banks of the Heilongjiang River. If we translate it into Spanish, it would be the Black Dragon River. And on the other side, you could see some checkpoints. But who would dare to cross this river right now? Because I'm telling you, there's nothing over there. But it's amazing that those mountains are part of Russia. It's the second time in less than 2 weeks that we're seeing Russia right in front of us and we can't cross. Borders are invisible, aren't they? They're really a human invention. And this is supposed to be the main attraction. I don't know what's here, but the entrance is free. And here is the booth that marks the northernmost point of the country. This is one of those places you have to come to take a picture, because not only can you see the signs that indicate the north, but you can also see Russia on the other side. And look at all the excited guys taking pictures with Russia.
Well, we're going back to our country now, right? According to the locals.
Everyone thinks we're Russians. I love business ideas and the creativity with which people make money. Here they sell you the chance to take a picture throwing hot water into the air. But the thing is, they make a lot of money because they get the water from the snow they have here. They have an unlimited source and they heat it with firewood, which is the most abundant resource in the region. And look at the infrastructure they have. Ni hao. There's water. Oh. Let's see, Ned, I'm going to show you. It's a big business because they have all the water they need around them. They melt the snow and sell it to you for 10 yuan per try. You can spend up to 100 yuan getting the perfect photo.
Whoa! I got scared.
I thought it was going to be worth it.
Move, bend a little.
Wow!
Wow! Wow!
Wow!
一定要大力甩出啊，这样的。
Are there more beans here? How much?
I have 15 of these too.
People have their hands out without gloves, and I'm freezing my hand even with the glove on. Is it cold?
It's so cold. How did you learn Chinese?
On the street.
路上，怎么说的？
Great business and great experience too. They just need to sell hot water in cups because if your hands get painfully cold, extremely painful. This is the block of love in the North Pole and it's made up of 5 parts. The love sculpture, the love stone, the love swing, the love corridor, and the love statue. They're supposed to symbolize purity, vitality, and love. And if you come here, your love will last forever. I guess this is what they call the love corridor, and it's all filled with statues of couples. Let's take a picture with them, okay? For real. How is it? We'll turn into these little statues forever. Look at the setups they made to take pictures in this place.
他说什么？
他说：“我羡慕全世界的下巴。”
啊！
是我们用广东话说的，全世界落班。
哦。
下班。
What did he say? He said, right now, everyone will get on. In Cantonese, he said, please, everyone will get off. Stop.
We're done. We're finished. We're done working.
Already did.
It's very cold.
We need to warm up. Help! The truth is that the hike really is brutal because the temperature is extreme and my feet are already hurting a lot. So here you have the option to take the sled. It costs you 200 yuan and they wrap you in some blankets. How about that? How about that? Is that okay? How much is this? This now in our society, the first society, 400 yuan, not possible. I've heard others say 200, he says 400. How much does it cost?
多少钱？
230. Where? 2 people, 200 yuan. If you want to ride the sled, this little trip to the north is already getting expensive. And what about the hotels, the clothes, the food? We've already gone all around the country and my wallet is starting to hurt, but my feet are suffering even more. Now we're in the Christmas village, which opened in 2003. I never would have imagined that in such a remote place, the northernmost in all of China, there would be an ice city. But the most interesting thing is that here they have an exact replica of Santa Claus's house, whatever that means. And they also have an eternal Christmas tree that's lit up all year round. And apparently there's a big party because you can hear music everywhere. And even from the parking lot, you can notice that even the ticket booth where they sell the tickets is completely made of snow. And I love the detail they put into the wood texture so it looks just like a cabin from the North Pole. If that's just the entrance, I bet it only gets better from here. But if you come here, Make sure to put some spikes on your shoes or something because there are no mats or anything, you're walking on ice the whole time. Well, welcome to Santa Claus's village. Keep in mind that there are about 50,000 to 100,000 inhabitants around here. It's not very big and we're really far from civilization, so to speak, or from the capital, which makes it really interesting to think that there's a snow village like this here. It's incredible, 30 hectares of all this.
We're right now inside Santa's house. On the first floor, there's this sort of stage where I think Santa sits. But look at the number of Christmas decorations they have here. And even though for many of you it might be like, well, so what? They're just Christmas decorations. And for us, seeing this is really strange. Keep in mind that in 5 years, we haven't spent a proper Christmas. We were used to seeing lights, colors, sparkles, Santa Claus, gifts, turkey punch, posadas, and so many things in Mexico that we haven't seen here in 5 years. Because even though in some bigger cities in China there are Christmas fairs or Christmas markets, none of them feel like being at home. And yet, coming here, even though I know that for them this doesn't mean as much, it's very symbolic. It makes me feel a little bit closer to home and it makes me feel much more excited to go back home for Christmas. This year, just like the song says, one of the things my family and I do at Christmas is go to a town in Mexico that's known for its Christmas ornaments called Tlalpujagua. They have the most beautiful Christmas ornaments in the country. If you visit Mexico, I recommend it. Now we're on the second floor of Santa Claus's house. We have some nutcrackers here and a couple of photos of Santa. Here as well, there's a group of very beautiful girls wearing the outfit I showed you earlier from Mr. Bacon. That fence makes for a really original photo here. I think that's where Santa is. What are you doing here, Mitzi? What did you do with Santa? Don't look at this, kids.
I need my Santa pen. What do you want?
I want to go with my family for Christmas, and I want everyone watching this video to subscribe. Everyone watching this video should subscribe.
Y toda la gente que esté viendo este video.
Press the button, let's see. Let's see if you've been good, Neckfur. Well, has Neckfur been good or not? Neckfur, I caught you. They already told me what you did last summer. We'll see. If not, I'll give you a box of coal.
Well, I'm going with the real Santa to see if he'll give me a proper present.
Here's the wall of Santa Claus legends. I imagine these are the Santa Clauses who have been here, and almost all of them are from Finland. This was a retired worker from the Finnish embassy. So they're good Santa Clauses, they're Santa Clauses.
Approved by Neckfurly. Right here in front of us, we have Santa. Honestly, I find it strange and very curious to see a foreigner in such a remote part of China. Being a foreigner in China, many times it can be a bit of a lonely experience because you always want to be with your loved ones, and obviously that's not always possible here. But anyway, here we have all the Christmas decorations, and on the other side we have something like Santa's Tavern. This is where Santa has his shots or his cups of coffee. It depends on how healthy this Santa is, and besides that, you can also have instant noodles, which I guess Santa needs from time to time. Also in this very remote part of China. Look, here they sell you a whole photo shoot in this Christmas park as if these people really celebrated Christmas. But like I said, honestly, in China, from what we've seen, Christmas feels very commercial, very superficial. So far, although I have to say this house is very pretty.
Environments. Now it's 6:56 in the evening and the park is dead. There's not a single person here who doesn't work here. So keep that in mind because we thought that at this time things would just be getting good. But it seems like that's around 5 in the afternoon. It lasts until 6:30 and after that everyone goes home. This is where the party takes place, which is nice because it's really cold so you can warm up. Supposedly inside here it's like a snow city. Let's hope it doesn't collapse on us and the penguins crush us.
Wow, look, all of this is made of snow and ice. My little hand. You better crawl. Maka, no, you're crazy. You're going to hurt yourself.
What are the chances that this will collapse on top of us? I'm getting claustrophobic. I don't think it's a very good idea to be in a tunnel under a giant ice statue. How safe could it be?
Hey, well now I see. Oh, I almost fell. That back here there are more buildings like the ones in front of us. I guess there are probably some cafes or maybe a restaurant where you can grab a snack. We didn't make it in time.
It's just that over here, these are supposed to be European-style buildings and everything. It's meant to make you feel like you're in Finland. This is the eternal Christmas tree, which is supposed to stay lit all year round, representing the spirit of Christmas. I find it curious because people here aren't even religious. But anyway, Christmas is already a concept shared by everyone around the world, and in China, it seems they're also adopting it in certain parts of the country, which I think is great. But anyway, I think we're heading back now because it's really cold and there's nothing else to see, so I'll see you later. It's 7 in the morning and it's amazing how the town looks. Here it's a constant struggle against the snow and the ice, because now at night when no cars pass by, the whole road freezes. Later the machine comes by and cleans it, but this is how it looks in the morning. For example, they've basically given up on this one and just left it buried since fewer cars go by and it freezes faster. But it's truly an ice paradise, it's incredible. Today we're going to the northernmost village in China. This place is in theory, but the real one is actually a little farther away. We're going to take the bus to Beihong, which is about 2 hours away.
As we mentioned before, this part of China has also become famous for being a place where you can see the northern lights. Now, why haven't we talked about this more throughout the video? Well, it turns out I've been doing some research so that we can have a sighting. And these phenomena are practically unpredictable. They depend on several factors. And even though there are some apps that help you get an estimate of the population, the truth is they're still very unpredictable. So these days, according to what I've seen in the apps, it was totally unlikely that we would see anything, especially since we've had a full moon. And that's a source of light in the sky, which would be visual pollution when trying to see the northern lights. But we thought that maybe in Beihong, which is where we're going today, we might have a better chance of seeing it. Because it's farther north and it's a village that's much more untouched and less developed than here, with less light at night and a quieter life. Let's see if we're lucky. Yesterday we passed by this same place after dinner. Just look at the cart, there's no one watching it, and all the food that the lady sells is right here. They don't take their food or cart or anything, they just leave it here. Here's the price list showing how much each item costs and the QR code so you can pay. That's how safe this country is. I haven't seen this anywhere else. This right here is the Beihong bus station, which is where we are now. Where are we? Here we are. I thought it was going to be a bus. This is proof of how few people are going to the place we're heading to. This is the only transportation that leaves each day to go to that place. There isn't a bigger bus, there aren't more trips, it's just this one and nothing else. We just realized that no one on this bus has cell phone signal, and we couldn't help but wonder what would happen if something bad happened to someone in a place like this. Who would come to help you?
Yeah, it's dangerous because it's not a very busy road. Usually people just go there to see the river and that's it. If you crash, you're at minus 26 degrees.
Yeah, there's no doubt that we wouldn't have much chance of surviving outdoors for long if something happened on the road.
This is the first stop, and before we go to the northernmost village, we're going to take the first turn. The Heilongjiang River divides Russia and China and is the most important river in this area of China. In fact, the entire northeast of China is called Heilongjiang, precisely in honor of this river. And I'm not going to lie, I was a little nervous on the way because there was no signal at all for miles and miles. This was the only thing you could see, and I asked the driver, are there a lot of accidents here? And he said, yes, a lot. And I asked him, hey, without any signal, what do you do? And he told me, don't worry, these trucks have satellite tracking, so if anything happens, they can see us. We're arriving at the first bend of the Heilongjiang River, and we have a very nice snowman, a really well-made one, a giant rock, and Old Mother Russia.
This is really part of the tourist attraction of Beihong, which is where we're going to go later. Everyone says you have to come here. We came, but we didn't know what we were going to find.
Something you can really appreciate here is the phenomenon called Daka, which means checking in at different tourist spots. For example, here we stopped to take a photo with the post that marks the Chinese territory.
It's so you can upload it to Instagram and say, I'm in China, but behind me is Russia.
And here, unlike other borders, there doesn't seem to be any border control. Nothing beats natural border control, because with these conditions, crossing would mean death. Mom, I'm in no.
Estoy en Rusia.
Apparently there's more to this. You have to climb a whole snowy mountain and it's quite a trek. Nekfi, how's it looking today? This is the curve, and we're going to climb up so we can see it from above because it's very beautiful. It's 1,010 steps. How many steps have we climbed in this series?
That's another statistic we'll have to count.
Yeah, let's see, like steps climbed, kilometers traveled.
Which one will it be? But look at this view we have here. It's like an enchanted forest, isn't it? Yes, I like that there's always background music at tourist attractions in China. And now here we go. Hey, if you go to a place with snow, don't be fooled by these wooden stairs. They're super slippery. We've reached the first observation platform. From here you can't see much yet. We have to keep going up. We still have a lot of steps to go. It says here, we have 582 steps up and 383 steps down left. Now I really understand why they recommend this.
It's worth it.
We haven't reached the top yet, but check out the view. Look at that white hair.
The climb is brutal. No, it really is beautiful. Every second is worth it. We had to travel so many kilometers, but it was really worth it. What a place for the last day of the series.
We were reading down there that this bend in the Heilongjiang River is shaped like a horseshoe and that over there is an island. And that island has sandy beaches. When the weather is nice and it's not winter, of course, and the water isn't frozen, the water is very clear. That really made me want to go to the beach. And then we reached the top of the mountain and there are little cabins here, a park and another rock where you can take a picture too. The Chinese have infrastructure everywhere. Well, I don't know, but I was just thinking that if the trip ended here, I would already be very happy. Well now, welcome to Beihong, and unlike what you might be thinking, this is not the outskirts of any town. This is the center of the town.
Why isn't anyone coming? Everyone stayed there.
Yeah, we came on a bus and we don't know why no one else is coming to this side.
He just dropped us off here and told us, well, we've arrived, this is downtown, go out and walk around. And I was like, but where am I supposed to go? There aren't even people on the street.
They should call it the town of silence. It's even eerie because you can tell they've tried to turn it into a big tourist attraction with their matryoshkas.
But the concept didn't really catch on because it looks a lot like the other village.
But well, let's give it a chance and see what's around here.
I'm walking over there because there was a building over here that looked a bit different. But everyone who came with us stayed back there. There are horses roaming free in the street. Look, they're loose, just wandering around. It's a village of animals. A very fat cow just passed, and now some horses are crossing the street.
A good indicator that you're in the middle of nowhere in China is seeing cows. When you see cows in the street, then you're in a very remote and very rural place. This looks like a simulation.
No, it's really strange because it's 3 in the afternoon and there's not a single person around. They have chargers for electric cars. With these temperatures, I don't know how it can work, but here they are, 2 EV chargers for NIO cars in front of the school. I just want you to see how deep the snow is. The kids are not on vacation yet, just so you know. And this is their playground with a view of Russia. There's a person over there. There aren't many people here. Where are the people who live here? They're inside the house. Ah, they're inside, right? Right. How many people are here? 3 people. Right, including you.
还有他。
And him too, that's right. Besides the 2 of you, is there anyone else?
还有这个咖啡店。
And the owner of this coffee shop, how many people are here?
啊，300多。啊，因为他刚才说有3个。
Didn't you say there were 3?
我真的以为有。
I thought there were 3. Is that one still open? Yeah, it is. Ah.
啊，所以现在还没开。所以
So it's not open yet. So where should we go now? Are you still streaming this way? Is that Russia over there? Yes. There are 300 people living in this village. The question is, what time do they go out or do they never go out?
What do they do for a living? What do they do on weekends?
This is what they do. Go to the bar. Of all the buildings in this abandoned village, this is the one that stands out, and it's the bar. Normally it would be a church or something. They stay open until 8.
Hey, 8 o'clock is pretty late in a place like this. Remember that it starts getting dark at 3 in the afternoon.
A Russian bakery, here in the middle of nowhere. Let's see. Let's check if there's actually bread. Yes, it's open. I assumed it in Bauman.
是这个吗？
What, this is the house. What is this?
Do they make a house with this? Yes.
This is bread. Which country are you from? Which country are you from?
We are Russians. Russians?
So look, my house is Russian. Very good. It's yours.
Yes, I saw there was Russian bread here. I wanted to eat it. Yes, how much? This? Yes.
How much do you have?
How much do you have?
How much is there? There is bread. The small ones are 5 yuan, okay?
These two? Are these 5 yuan? Yes, they are 5 yuan. Very good. Are there Russian restaurants here?
Yes, there are restaurants. How do you learn to make bread? My mother-in-law's house.
我和话，他家那个祖上有像你们那边的血统，我就给他那个啥玩意里边包上馅儿了，就这样。来，你反正看跟你们一样吗？有你们的味道吗？
我就是
There are restaurants. I like eating bean bread. That's it.
是你们这国家的口味吧？
It's the taste of your country, right? Yes, I learned it from my mother-in-law.
我就跟他婆婆那么学。
My mother-in-law learned it from her mother-in-law. We're the 4th generation now.
Wow, very delicious.
Very delicious.
Look, here is the little bread that looks really good. It's really tasty. Here they make it in the oven. That's it.
Not even alone. Look,
Is a no.
is the new.
The lady fed us. She saw we were hungry and prepared 2 kilos of food for us. And it was really cheap because she only charged us 28 yuan. A jin of jiaozi, which is usually around 30 something in a restaurant. So it turned out affordable, and we also got some really good bread. Looks like the town already knows the tourists are here, right? There was no one on the street. We went into the bakery and suddenly the horses came out, the carriages. Now there are people on the street. The bakery got crowded. For some reason now.
For some reason now it seems like people really do live here.
Aren't they cold? Cold? The street guards without fur. There are soldiers everywhere. Hello? This is your mother? This is her mother? They're both so beautiful. Where are you from? Mexico? Spain? Are there many Russians here? There should be a lot of mixed race people here, right? Yes, I am one. Right, that's what I was thinking. Hey,
你像我一样的。
you're just like me. Can you speak Russian? Oh my god.
奶奶那辈儿，奶奶是。
When did you come here?
I can't explain it. It was in the years of, yes, in Stalin's time.
Yes, in the...
Years.
You are over years old. If you didn't tell me you were Russian, I would think you were Russian. Very good.
You have from it was in the years of Stalin. It was in the years of.
It was years, it was in the years of... It was in Stalin's years. Years, it was the years of Stalin. It was in the...
Years of Stalin.
Wow. That's crazy. He's from the 3rd generation of a mixed family. He said that his grandmother moved to Begitsunche, which is the village we were in before this one, with many other Russians who had been there for a long time. And that over time, well, he blended in and now he's 100% Chinese, but he still looks like a foreigner. Years ago, he came here as a lumberjack. This village focused on logging, but now that's banned. I'm Nietzsche. What's your name? Russian or Chinese? Performative. That's how we've seen it.
哦，这个
这个以前都拉木头的，以前就是搞这
啊，真的吗？
山里拉到江边来。这个东西都是从俄罗斯传过来的，就这项工艺，这都是100多年前时候俄罗斯传过来的。那时候交通没有车，没有路，现在这开发旅游业了嘛，
对，
就把这个。
What's your name? The name of the people, but how did the name Zhang Jinli come from generations of roots? It's not like Noelia. Noelia is 100% Spanish. Her parents are Spanish, her uncles are Spanish, she was born in Spain. Since you moved to Mexico so young, you practically lost all your Spanish identity. She speaks like a Mexican, has Mexican customs, and a Mexican heart. I think this is the first time we've met people who belong to this ethnic minority, the descendants of Russians who once lived in different parts of China. Among them, the gentleman we just... Which one? Look at the problems of living in these temperatures. These are some pants we found over there. Look at this. It sounds like I'm pulling your leg, doesn't it? It's really hard.
I'm telling you, the good thing about that is his pants won't get wrinkled.
That's right. I hadn't noticed that Noelia has already turned into Elsa from Frozen. What happened, Noelia?
I hadn't even noticed. You just told me, right?
Man, what happened to your face?
It's just that when I put on the face mask, all the steam kind of...
Rises. If you've ever wondered what's at the extreme northern tip of all of China, Well, this is the answer, an ice sculpture park. Although we arrived a little early, there's a sign that says, I am at the northernmost point of China and my heart is with the Communist Party. Bonai! The mountains of the Russian Far East. And supposedly we should be able to see the northern lights here, today. We haven't been lucky, but the important thing is that by officially arriving here, we've traveled across the entire country. From the southernmost tip to the northernmost tip, we've also explored the surrounding areas. The far right tip, the far left tip, the lower right tip. However, this is a huge country and over the last 88 days we've realized that. So this is the end of the series, but it's the beginning of a new set of adventures. Because we still have many years to explore this wonderful country and we are very grateful to all of you for joining us. It hasn't been easy. There have been good episodes, bad episodes, fun and boring episodes, and sad ones too, but we've enjoyed each and every one of them. Except for when we're freezing, hungry, miss a flight, or lose our cameras, but the point is it's been an extraordinary adventure. And this wouldn't have been possible without all of you who have been following us from home for so long, and for that we will be eternally grateful. For now, we're going to take a short break to celebrate Christmas with our families, and then we'll be back with a new adventure that will probably take us to unknown corners of the country. From the farthest northern tip of China, we wish you happy holidays, and we'll see you next year with a new video.